told him never to enter the night market after midnight. But he followed the sound of laughter, and what he saw wasn't human. Deep within the ancient Ekom forest, there's a marketplace. It's a place older than the village itself. A place that only comes alive when the moon hangs directly overhead. And it's a place no human is ever supposed to see. Yet, one boy did, and he never returned the same. For generations, the villagers have whispered the same warning to their children. Never, ever step outside after midnight. That is when the market opens. But Kenna, a curious and stubborn 13-year-old, thought these were just old stories meant to scare kids into behaving. He didn't believe in monsters or magic markets. He was about to learn just how wrong he was. One warm, starless night, Kenna was camping with his friends near the forest's edge. The fire had died down to glowing embers, and everyone else was asleep. But Kenna was wide awake, listening to the crickets and the rustling leaves. Suddenly, he heard something strange carried on the wind. It was faint at first, but it grew louder. It was the sound of laughter, lively music, and the distinct clinking of metal, like traders setting up their stalls for a busy day. But how could that be? The village was miles away, and it was completely silent. Everyone was sound asleep in their beds. A thrill of curiosity shot through him, overriding any sense of fear. He had to know what was making those sounds. Quietly, he slipped out of his tent, leaving his sleeping friends behind. The sounds pulled him forward, like an invisible string tugging him deeper and deeper into the dark, imposing trees. The air grew colder, and the familiar forest path disappeared. The laughter was louder now, more musical and enchanting than any human laughter he had ever heard. He pushed aside a thick curtain of vines and froze. Before him was a sight that defied all logic. The clearing was bathed in an otherworldly glow, coming from lanterns that floated in midair, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow. The place was bustling with activity, filled with creatures straight out of forgotten folklore. There were beings with skin like tree bark, eyes that glowed like hot coals, and merchants with long, spindly fingers arranging wares that shimmered with an unnatural light. The market smelled of strange spices, damp earth, and something else, something wild and electric. Kenna hid behind a massive, gnarled tree, his heart pounding against his ribs. He saw a stall selling bottled starlight, another offering polished river stones that hummed with a low energy, and a food vendor grilling meat that sizzled with blue flames. The patrons weren't human. They were sprites, goblins, and shadowy figures with no discernible features. This was it. The night market, and he was the only human there. The warning wasn't a story. It was a promise. He tried to back away, to retreat into the safety of the dark forest, but a tall, elegant figure with horns like twisted branches turned its head, and its luminous eyes locked directly onto his. It smiled, a slow, knowing smile that didn't reach its eyes. Kenna knew, in that terrifying moment, that he had been seen. And in the night market, once you are seen, you can never truly leave. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more tales from the shadows.